we watched the new Stranger Things today, so we finished it. Um, and now we're just chilling, waiting for the countdown to finish, so then I can lull myself off to sleep. Cause I'm very, very sleepy. Like, if I was not streaming, or if I did not plan to stream, I would probably honestly be asleep right now. It's in like one of those like lazy days. I've been in my room like all day, lights off, and the only time I turned my lights on was when it was time to get dinner, and I actually had to like leave my room. If it wasn't for that, I probably would not have turned my lights on all day. Except for, now too. See, sounds like a fun time. 2 more hours before New Year's. I have once it turns 11:20, I have 40 minutes until the new year. I'm very excited for the new year. I don't have any New Year's resolutions. I never really make them anymore. Do you have anything? Do you do New Year's resolutions at all? I remember we tried to do for a while. We tried, and then we like never stuck to it. I haven't made any in a while. My main was just to spend less this coming. Honestly, that's such a good one. That's such a good one. What I did while we were watching TV, I was spending money. Well, not necessarily. Today has been a lot of spending. I bought the tickets to the Face Connect concert. I spent maybe $28 on manga because I had a gift card for Amazon and I just had to pay the difference. So I got some new pencils and then I got those tickets. So it's been a very money spending day for me. Well, it's been like that for like a good chunk of time. What's life if you don't live a little? Oopsie. It doesn't help that I have like a convention at the very start of January too, to spend even more money at. She's so cute. I love her so much. Look at that face. Look how cute she is. Oh my god, I need to spend less money. I need to sleep more. I need to do a lot of things. Another thing I need to do is I need to hydrate more. I don't drink enough water. Usually for the most part, so much money gone. No, it is. It is. It really is. Oh wait, I forgot to do that. Where is that line? Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of money has like gone down the drain. Yeah, I regret nothing though. I have no regrets. I like to live a life without regrets, Though every time I will make a purchase, I always sit there. Whenever I make a purchase, it doesn't matter how like cheap it is, I always sit there and I start like freaking out. Oh, she's a cutie. Drink more as well. Have a bottle of Mike's currently. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what Mike's Heart is. She is, yeah, she's Dizzy Dokuro from Face Connect Invaders. Do check her out. Hold on, I'll type her in the chat, but you should check her out. Honestly, I would check out anyone from Face Connect. I'm so mad. Face Connects. There's her name if you want to check her out. So mad though. Face Connect's doing a convention, and I wish I could go, but it's in San Francisco. Oh, so okay. I don't drink lemonade. I don't drink it often, and I'm not old enough to drink. I've never had like alcohol or anything because I'm too young for that. I underage, haven't really done any of that. Won't be 21 until October. Be 21 for a while. I'm enjoying my 20s as if everything has not gone downhill since I've turned 20. Like health-wise, my health has deteriorated since I turned 20. Like 20 has like messed up my health significantly in so many ways. Yeah, it's all good fun. Let's see. There is a gap in my liner somewhere. I don't know where. So when I run into cases like these, I divide it up. I'm 29, I'm going on 30 next month. Lucky you. I don't know if I should say lucky. I don't know. I'm content with my life. I don't think I'm missing much. I see how my brother is. So what I do is I'll draw little areas. I'll divide it into parts. And this is how I get to the culprit of where this random spot is. Okay, I found it. This is my lazy tactic. Wednesday lucky. Enjoy youthful years. Alas, I wish it was back to being 18 simpler, a lot simpler. I wish it was simpler. I don't know. Adulting is complicated. Adulting is very complicated. I'll say that at least. At least for me, it's complicated. Though I know the only thing I'm not looking forward to is taxes. I'm so not looking forward to tax. I don't want to pay taxes. So I don't have to do that yet. So that I'm free from that. And when I tell you, like, when I turned 20, everything went downhill, I genuinely mean it. So, if you don't know, my birthday is October 2nd. So, on October 2nd, I have the, like, records to prove it. I fell down a flight of stairs on October 2nd. Being in the hospitals and taxi surgery. Yeah, no, I get a lot of surgery a lot. I've had a decent amount of surgeries done, and I'm always at the doctor. So, I don't think I'm gonna look forward to that. But as soon as it was my birthday, I fell down the stairs. And I currently have a lump on my leg. It took me, I only just recently, I'd say like end of November, I started to recover. So like 2 months roughly of not being able to walk for like long periods of time. And then a week after I fell down the stairs, I got diagnosed with tinnitus. Or I started getting it and I got recently diagnosed. But my case is really weird, so they want me to get an MRI. And I can't even schedule that because the only appointment they have, I'm not even here. So I have to like, I've called them like 5 times to get like a different appointment. They just won't let me. They won't let me in. Where did I put my stylist? There we go. They just don't want me to see the doctor. They hate me here. Oh, but my urgent care where I go to school, it's terrible. So, you know, I told them everything. I told them how I fell down the stairs. Oh, sorry to hear that. Definitely sucks. I had shoulder surgery 4 years ago. There's a small tear. Damn, tonight's isn't fun. I have a pulsing in my ear, and yeah. So, I fell one time. This is a long time ago, and I went to the doctor for it, and they did so much to like rule out the causes. They like did x-rays, they did so many things. I went to the doctor because I had a bad fall, and it was a few weeks later, and like I was numb. My leg was numb. They like pat me down and then sent me on my way. And so I told the doctor, I was like, hey, my leg's numb. I don't think that's normal, because it could be that you damaged like a nerve. And so my friend's mom, she works as a doctor, and so she told me, it was her who told me that I had to see urgent care because it was serious. They pat me down, they give me a little pat, and they tell me I'm fine. Doesn't ever go away, because then I see my dad because I'm going home, and he picks me up. I tell him the same thing. He goes, that's not normal. And I'm like, I knew it wasn't normal. It's like, I knew I was right. And then I go to a different doctor. Like, as soon as I get home from my I get home, I go to Colorado. As soon as I get back, I go to urgent care. No, I went to urgent care before I went to Colorado, actually. So it was, I get home, and then I go to urgent care. It was this whole cycle. And then the urgent care people, this was really funny too. That's horrible for sure. This one is even funnier. So I go to this one, and my dad's so convinced they have an x-ray. Because my mom's like, I'm not going unless they have an x-ray, which is honestly valid because it's like a long, decent drive. They don't have an x-ray, or they do, but the day we go is the day they don't have someone to like manage it, so we can't get the x-ray. So then we have to go to a different place, and the dude was really nice. But what like threw me off was he like x-rayed my leg, but he had the bump facing down, so the bump was not facing the actual x-ray. So the part we needed x-ray was not facing the x-ray. And so they just, their solution was just to massage it out, and I was like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, cool, lovely, love the solution. It was just funny. Just urgent care is just a funny experience for me. I've gone multiple times to the urgent care at my college, and I told myself I was never gonna go back. But this injury, this one's really funny. It's not serious. It's actually a really funny story. I think it's a really funny story. It was on Thanksgiving, which like a night like today, if it was Thanksgiving. This was our first Thanksgiving where we currently live. See, we moved and we had no friends, so our cousins who we barely know. Yes, it sucks. Like, my mom had to go to get one, and by the time she got the x-ray machine, happened to break. I feel like the x-ray machine has the same like consistency rate as like the McDonald's like ice cream machine. It breaks just as much as that does, or has dilemmas just as much as that. Like, I feel like if I want an x-ray, it's like I want a McDonald's like ice cream. It doesn't work. And so I fell, and in my mind, my thought process was, oh, this is gonna hurt. But if I fall and I break this plate that I am holding, I'm gonna get yelled at. But on top of being yelled at, I might have glass in me. and I don't want to have blasphemy because it's gonna hurt to get it pulled out. So I deliberately angled the fall. In that moment, I made the split decision. I'm just gonna injure myself instead of dealing with whatever consequences would be from like the plate I was holding, because I knew I was gonna get yelled at because it was a nice plate. And so I ankled it, and I fell on like my wrist bone, and so I couldn't move. It was just like the shock of it, because me decided to like, it was like Scary Asian Mother or like possibly breaking a bone, and I chose possibly breaking the bone over Scary Asian Mother. Smart decisions. And so we go. Turns out one of our cousins, the cousins we don't really know, one of them like is a nurse or is like a medical student, so she like gives me the green light. And then but because it's still like hella like painful, I got a little note to get out PE, and I got so lucky with this. I tell you, I'm so happy about this. The only time that my PE class did the fitness gram pacer test, I couldn't do it because I injured my wrist. So I got out of that. I was so happy when I found that I didn't have to do that. The only part that was terrible was my teacher. Like, this is just him being just genuinely curious. He goes, "So how did you injure yourself?" Because the only bandages we had to like wrap my wrist and keep me from moving it were bandages for your thighs. So it looked more serious than it actually was. I'll draw a picture of how my arm looked, because this is just really funny. So hold on. So say this here is my arm, normal size arm. So the urgent care at my college, it's not like urgent care, it's like the city's urgent care, and it's just on the bus route. So it's just like a normal urgent care, and we just have to like take a bus and go over. So say this is my arm, right? We only had bandages for your thighs. So like a normal wrist wrap, it'd be like this. It'd be tight, maybe just like a little bit off the skin, Understand? Yeah, the no trash bags. I hated that. But because they didn't have a proper one, it ended up looking like this. It was so bulky. And this is my tiny little finger. It was this much thicker than my arm, so it looked broken. Because we didn't have anything, it was so thick, it looked broken. So my teacher thought I had a really bad fall, like I broke my wrist. He thought it was broken. It wasn't. I just fell. Yeah, and so he asked me, he goes, "So how did you fall? Were you like playing a sport or something?" I look this man dead in the eyes and I go, "No, I fell." And he had the most like disappointed, unimpressed expression. I think he was expecting some like cool story, like how like when athletes break a bone, it's like something happens, something happened to like cause it to break, something cool. No, I just fell, and I just fell and face planted. Yeah. Yeah, no, I just it was so funny because I wasn't even on like good terms with that teacher, mainly because I found really easy ways to get out of PE. Well, I know that like like he and I, we were on like okay terms. We weren't on great terms, like teacher and student wise. We were okay, So it wasn't like he like. I think he was just extremely disappointed in me. It's okay. I can handle it. I can handle that disappointment. No biggie. It was just really funny. It's one of my favorite stories. Another really funny injury. I had so many funny injury stories, guys. This one was after I got eye surgery. I was maybe in like, I was going into middle school when I got this done, and so I couldn't see, and we were like sending me to some brain therapist to see if like there was something wrong with me, because academically I was not there, and so part of it, so they study your brain waves and they put like this little cap on you. I learned about it in psychology, but it studies your neurons. Really cool stuff. Genuinely, it's really cool. And so it studies your neurons, this whole thing. I'm like locked in. And so, but the thing is, you have to like stare at the screen. Cause you gotta focus, and I guess it like follows your like thinking patterns. Question mark. I really don't know. Between you and me, I genuinely don't know. And so, I had an eye patch on this day. This visit, I had an eye patch. I obviously could not see. Because, literally I couldn't see out the eye that I got, like, surgery on. And the nurse in charge of me this day, she goes, I need you to open your eyes. She told me I had to open my eyes. The thing is that I told her that I had surgery. And she tells me how I need to have my eyes open. I'm thinking, girl, how? Yeah, how like the timeline went was I was blind for 3 days and I could see with one eye. But she told me to open the eye I got surgery. She told me I had to open it. And I'm sitting there like, girl, how? How do I open an eye that got like work done on it? And so me being extremely frustrated, I like partially opened it and then I like closed it like a second later. She's like, you gotta put more effort in. I'm like, no. It's like, you can't make me. And then I went home early that day. No, they really don't. I think another thing I don't think my like doctors thought through was when you're younger, they don't want to freak you out. So they won't tell you how like your surgery goes. They won't tell you like the details because they don't want to scare you. And my doctor was like the same way. She didn't tell me all the gory details. She didn't tell me actually anything. So I had no idea what I was getting into when I got surgery every time. I was just like not told the forbidden knowledge. That is surgery. I'm not coloring in that bun right now. I'm gonna color that later just because it's so close. It's gonna get messy. So they leave me in like the doctor's office. They take my mom outside. The thing is, they don't close the door. They didn't close it. So it was my first surgery that I had in a long time. I got this one in kindergarten. And me as a kindergartner, because I have like pretty good hearing, I heard everything. Like legit, I heard every detail that was possibly gonna happen to me. I knew it all. And when it came day, man, I was freaking out. I was not having it at all. I was like, no, you can't make me go in there. It's like, no. It's like, you can't make me. Oh my god, she has color. I'm like half awake. I think the other funny thing that happened, I was getting a filling done in my mouth. And I also got my wisdom teeth removed. But the thing is, I don't remember consenting. Because now that I'm like, an adult, they have to consent to these procedures. I don't remember consenting. I don't think I ever consented to it. Like, genuinely, I don't remember saying, yes, you can, like, do this. I think they just like did it. Like, I have no recollection. It kind of just like happened. I'm being really lazy right now. I'm just filling these gaps with like the darker color because I'm lazy. There's nothing wrong with being lazy, guys. It's called work smarter, not harder. Though that should be not colored. Understand? I recall when I had a surgery and I heard that they said kill my arm for surgery. It was such a weird feeling when they did it. I almost sucked my arm into the operation table when I woke up. Oh no. I knew. I don't think I could ever do anything like that. I remember when I got my tonsils removed, they like warned me before and they're like, you're not gonna be able to eat after. And as soon as I woke up from that surgery, I became a big back and I was eating everything in sight. If you looked up big back in the dictionary, a photo of me would have popped up. I was consuming all that there was. With no regrets. No thoughts of the consequences. I was just big backing my way to the moon and back. Oh my god, I hate these fireworks. They're so distracting. I just want to draw pretty women and talk to my little children and chat, and these fireworks are ruining the mood. I don't know. As a kid, I was so fascinated by fireworks, but the older I get, the more I'm like, no. Tonsils removed. I don't know. It falls into play with the theory of like the older you get, the harder it is to recover from these things. Because for me, my tonsils being removed wasn't a traumatic experience. My wisdom teeth, oh, that was so bad. That was so bad. Okay, I feel like this needs some work in this area, so we're gonna do some work. Room touch up the dirt. We're gonna just add some hair to make this feel less weird. Because I feel like it looks really weird right now. Me and the doctors always have a fun time. Never. I think like the weirdest like fear I've ever had as a kid. This is a really funny thing. I don't, if you ask me why, I could genuinely not answer you. Because apparently when I was a little kid, I was genuinely terrified of Santa. Like, you know, like at the mall, like you have those people dressing up as Santa. Well, apparently, and we have photos to prove it, when I was a wee child, whenever we would go to the mall to see Santa, I would start like breaking out into tears. I'd start crying every time. I don't know what compelled me. I would just cry. Like every time I'd break into tears. And I don't know why. And I think it's so bizarre. In like the best way possible. Honestly, to me, it's a flex. I'm like, you weren't afraid of Santa, loser. I had a lot of weird fears as a kid, now that I think about it. I also had, like, your normal ones, too. Well, I suppose I had that. I just realized I was using the wrong brush. I was wondering why this is coming out so smooth and perfect. We've got 12 minutes, guys. We're almost there. It's almost 2026. And then I have to go back to school. No, I don't want to go back. I don't wanna, because the moment I go back is the moment I have to take math. I don't wanna take math. I hate math. I have a genuine hatred towards math as a whole. I don't think I had a mall Santa experience. The church Santa's a lot for the most part. I knew who the guy was. No, we would go to like the mall. It wasn't like, I guess, mall Santas. It was just like you would like go to like these like events, these Christmas events, and there would be Santa, and then I would break down to tears and start sobbing for like quite literally no reason. But then we'd get home and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so excited for Santa. As if I didn't just like bawl my eyes to just a random Santa in the mall. But as soon as we got home, it was as if I had never seen Santa. You know, maybe I knew that Santa was a fraud. Maybe you know what? I actually have a really rational reason for this. Maybe I knew that wasn't Santa. The real Santa was prepping for Christmas. Maybe I knew all along. The mall Santa is not Santa, and there's an actual Santa somewhere else. I think the other like funniest thing is our family. We have like a younger cousin, and so he believed in Santa a lot longer than we did. And that was always just really funny. That was always really interesting to see. This year, I was in a lot more of a Christmas spirit. I did a lot with the Elf on the Shelf this year. My dad, like, would move the Elf on the Shelf. And it would frustrate me, because my dad would put the Elf on the Shelf in really weird places. He put the Elf on the Shelf in the bathroom. Which is like, come on, the bathroom. I don't want this thing to watch me, like, you know, yeah. So, then after that, I started moving the Elf. I got another hour still. See, I don't like math either. I've got 9 minutes. I don't have a countdown. So, I'm probably gonna have a very delayed Happy New Year. I probably won't see it until it's like 2 minutes after. Because I'm not looking at the time. I'm staring at beautiful women. I think my favorite things we did with the Elf this year, we hung the Elf from our like light fixture. So the Elf hung on the ceiling for a bit. Like a very chill guy. Love that for him. He got to see heights he's never seen before. Short little fella. Got to see a whole new world, one could say. I think the funniest thing was my dad has like a certain seat he likes to sit in. And so when he was like gone, I put the Elf there. And so my dad like threw ooh, we never did the Elf on the Shelf. Oh Lord. Yeah, those dead eyes watching you while you do your routine. Did you do advent calendars? Yeah, we did. We do advents. We used to do Hanukkah, but we stopped. We don't do gingerbreads. That was never really a tradition. Sometimes we do, but it's not like a common thing for us to do it. I think the first time I did anything gingerbread was I was at my friend's house during the holidays, and her mom made us like gingerbreads to decorate, and I was like, what's this? Like, I'd never had a gingerbread cookie until that moment. I was in so much awe. But back to the story. So, I put the Elf in my dad's chair. He throws it across, like, the room. And he's like, get out of my chair. And then we, like, look over. There's my dog standing right there. He, like, walks over to the Elf. Goes over to this poor guy. And picks him up by the head and starts attacking the Elf on the Shelf. My dog like just went for it. My dog had no hesitation. He just went for the kill. He just started like attacking the Elf on the Shelf. I think he had no idea like what this was. he just like picked it up and started like chewing on it as if it was a new toy. We're like, no. And so we go over and we get the elf on the shelf away from the dog. Because I don't think a dog should be chewing on an elf on the shelf. You know? Just a thought. I don't know if dogs are elf on the shelves or dog free or dog safe. At least Bill is, and Bill is will be named our elf on the shelf. His name is Bill, and he's everyone's best friend. Oh my god. Yeah, it's probably not nice to chew on Santa's spice. No, it was so funny. And then I guess my dad like put the elf somewhere and he was like hanging. And I like walked by and the elf was on the ground. And I was like, Dad, the elf died. Oh my god. It was the elf on the shelf, and then there was one time I put the elf on the shelf by the knives. I walked over to my dad's like, hey Dad, the elf isn't happy with you. And I like gestured over to the elf like playing with the knives. I think the other, oh my god, 5 minutes. We're so close. The other really funny elf on the shelf moment. I don't know if this is Christmas or Christmas Eve. It was one or the other. I think it was Christmas Eve. Or was it Christmas? I don't know which day it was. It was one of the two. And I was like, I'd woken up. Usually like how it goes is I wake up usually around 6:30 to 7. Just like naturally. I'll lay in bed and I'll try to go back to sleep. So usually then like I don't start moving until like 8. So it's like one of those days where I woke up at like 7 and I was just being in bed and I was being lazy. And I hear the door open and I hear someone walk over. And I look over and I see my dad put the elf on the shelf on the pillow next to me. And I go, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, you saw nothing. And so I pick the elf up and I throw the elf at him. And the elf lands on the ground. And so then I get up, because I'm not going back to bed, that stupid thing in my room. I go up, and there's like a laundry basket outside my brother's door. And I put the elf there, so when my brother like wakes up and leaves this room, the first thing he's gonna see was the elf staring at him. I'm gonna start like messing with the elf more starting next year. And this time we're not gonna let the dog chew on the elf. There were other places I wanted to put the elf, but I couldn't because my dog would chew on it. And we can't let that happen. You can't let him chew on it. Yeah, we've had a lot of good elf moments. Hold on. I'm gonna open up my countdown because I think we're close. We're 3 minutes. We are close. Okay, hold on. Let me zoom out. Okay, we'll go here. I'm gonna move myself down. What toggle is it? No, it's not that. It's not that. There we go. There we go. That's the right toggle. Oh my god. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. And then I am going straight to bed. Because I am oh so tired. I don't know why my chat box never works. And I don't know why it never works. It hates me. My chat box doesn't like me. My chat box genuinely just like doesn't ever want to work. And I don't know why. Don't. I never did anything to upset my chat box. It's a hater. It's simply a hater. That's all it is. I will do the countdown. I'll do the 10, 9, 8, and so forth. And then I'll say my farewells. We will bask in the fact that this is, guess what, guys? This is my last stream of the year. And then in a minute, it'll be my first stream of the year. Oh. Why'd you get so big? Why? That was so unnecessary. That was not needed. Okay. I'll wait for it to get to like 10. Because I'm not counting from like 40 down. I'm lazy, guys. Okay, well, hold on. Let me close up my drawing. I have to work on that tomorrow. First drawing of the year. The fireworks are not stopping. I don't know why, and I hate them for that. I don't want the fireworks while I sleep. Okay. It's almost time. There we go. 3. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It's going too fast. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da. It's a happy new year. Guess what, guys? First stream of the year. First stream of 2026. Yippee. Oh, so now that I switched to this, my chat box. Now that I switch over, it works. Okay, Twitch. Okay, OBS. I see how it is. I see how you just want to be like that. You just want to be mean to me. OBS does not want me to be happy. OBS does not ever let me have my way, guys. Spoiler alert. They hate me. Well, congrats, thank you. I'm so excited for 2026. It's so weird. Another quick story before I go to bed. When I was a kid, the hardest thing for me was when a New Year's hit and I would have to write the date. I'd always write like the old date because I was just like never used to the new date. Well, I'm gonna head to bed because I'm exhausted and in pain. As I say this now, my cramps are quite literally like trying to take my life. So, I'm gonna go lay down and sleep with a nice little heating pad. But I wish you a happy new year when your new year countdown hits 0. And bye-bye. Where's my waving thing? There we go.